everyone, welcome to DE Sports Dork Entertainment. Today we have a preview, pre-game talk, not really discussion because Samit is not actually available today. We're going to be discussing the 40th match in the ICC Cricket World Cup in England at the moment, Bangladesh versus India. So that's looks like a really good game coming up this evening. We didn't actually get to do a video for the India versus England match, and coincidentally they lost. So, and ever since we've been doing videos, India has won all of their games. So, I guess I better not miss any videos for India. It must be like a good luck charm, I guess. So Bangladesh versus India, a great game coming up. There's, it's really important, I guess, for both teams to, get back to their winning ways. More so for Bangladesh at this stage, because they are looking to sneak into the top four for the semi-finals. They are just outside the top four on, how many points do they have? So at the moment they are just behind Pakistan and Sri Lanka. So they've played 7 games. They've got one game in hand, 7 games with 7 points. Now Pakistan and Sri Lanka. So Pakistan have played 8 games. They are on 9 points. And Sri Lanka have played 8 games and they are on 8 points. So with Bangladesh having played 7 games, being on 7 points, they have, I guess, a game advantage. So that effectively, I guess, with England beating India the other day, it effectively means I think Sri Lanka are out of the World Cup. So it comes down to Pakistan and Bangladesh to fight it out for that last spot, which is interesting because they do have a match coming up and that could be a decider. India, on the other hand, India have played 7 matches also, but they've got 5 wins and 1 loss. So they are on 11 points and sitting in second position, just above New Zealand on net run rate with a game in hand. So let's have a look at this battle. Now, the last couple of games, Bangladesh, you wouldn't think, they're really that good of an opponent for India, but they do take India to the brink. There have been some really close matches with India and Bangladesh. Just going back to the 2015 World Cup where, Bangladesh were playing pretty well and India also were playing pretty well. They came up against India and they were really confident, Bangladesh. And they do fight it out. So Bangladesh do fight out the match. And they've got a really good spinning attack. In that game in 2015, they played with a lot of aggression and, it showed on some of their players' faces when they were getting wickets and the emotions that they were going through. So they were really invested in that. India ended up winning that match and moving on to the finals, but it was a really close game. We're most likely going to see a really close game here as well. So we'll just have a look at a little bit of the weather before we go ahead, just to confirm that there is or isn't going to be a game, because weather has played sport early on in this tournament, with rain washing out quite a few games. So we're going to be in Birmingham, UK today, and it looks like it's going to be clear. 18 degrees, so no rain, thank goodness. So there will be a game. I'm just having a look here now at the form guide. So the last 5 completed games for each game. So India, of course, were on a bit of a winning streak there. They had won, out of the last 5 games, they won 4 and they just lost the other day to England. Bangladesh, it's been a bit up and down. The last game they won, it's a win-loss sort of competition for them at this stage. But they really need to win against India here to have any chance of making the semi-finals in the top 4. We're going to have a look at the pitch now. This is going to be on the same pitch that India played against England the other day, so it's going to be quite interesting. That pitch was quite a flat track, but it did slow down towards the end of the day, as we saw. Batting got a little bit harder. and as the day went on, the spinning ball was coming not as easy to get away. Here we have the same pitch, and this has a very short boundary on one side. I think it's 59 meters. So England exploited that really well. India not so much. But having played on this ground on Sunday, I would think India would have the advantage, hopefully, of exploiting those conditions. Bangladesh are coming off an 8-day break. So whether that's a good thing, or a bad thing, I'm not really sure, because it is quite a big break. They did have an injury to Mahmudallah, who I think he had a calf tear. But just reading reports that he has recovered in those 8 days, so that's quite miraculous. I think it's a really, I don't know what he had for breakfast, but that's a great recovery there from Mahmudallah. So he may play this game, which is important for Bangladesh to have their full strength team. India, Vijay Shankar, he's been injured and he's actually out of the tournament now. And they have recalled Mayank Agarwal, who is an opener. It'll be interesting to see if they do play Mayank Agarwal, because at the moment India open with a right hand combination. With Shikhar Dhawan was there, it was a right hand left hand combination, so that is quite important. And Mayank Agarwal is a left-handed opener. So they may bring him in and drop KL Rahul down the order a bit, because he is a pure batsman, Agarwal, and they may choose him over Rishabh Pant, because Rishabh Pant, he's played one game, he's sort of more a mid-order batsman, and he hasn't really hit his straps yet, and there is not much time to go. I think that, if they do play Mayank Agarwal, it will be advantageous to India, because having that left-hand combination means, the opposition will have to change the field every time there's, a change of run there with Rohit Sharma. And it will actually allow Rohit Sharma to settle in a little bit more rather than go all-out attack, because Mayank Agarwal is quite an aggressive batsman as well. Now, down with the bowling, Bhuvneshwar Kumar has been out with an injury. He has apparently recovered now, so it'll be interesting whether they go with 3 fast bowlers in this game, because the spinners Chahal and Yadav didn't really exploit the conditions too well in the other game, especially early on, and they went for quite a few runs. So, and it's going to be hard to drop Mohammad Shami, who also went for runs, but he also did pick up 5 wickets in that game. So he has been picking up wickets, at least 2 to 3 per game. So he's been going really well. It'll be hard to drop Shami. I think they may drop a spinner and play Bhuvneshwar Kumar. So there may be 3 fast bowlers there. But it'll be interesting to see what they do with the team selection. With this pitch, as we saw in the last game, if you win the toss, it's expected to be flat early on, so bat first, and because it is expected to slow up, I guess, as the day goes on, and it'll become a bit harder to actually bat on that pitch. Bangladesh are really good with their spinners and their slow bowlers, so they will be hoping also, that they don't actually have to bowl in the first innings, because it will be quite flat. But if anyone can exploit the conditions of a slow, flat pitch, it'll be the Bangladesh players. So it's going to be an interesting game. I've got to say, India will probably win this. My prediction is that India will win if they bat first, and it's going to be difficult for Bangladesh to come back after an 8-day break and just hit the straps. Before we finish this video, I just want to go through, because we are reaching the business end of the competition, just some of the teams who are still vying for a position who can still make it, and some of the teams who have actually already been eliminated now. And although they may have a game left, they are out of the competition. So Afghanistan is the first team to go. They haven't won any game, unfortunately. I did think they were going to push a bit harder, but I think injuries really did get to them, and they just couldn't recover from a bad start there. Although they did beat Pakistan in a warm-up game, but they just couldn't recover. Excuse me. South Africa. They're eliminated. They're finished. They've had a dreadful World Cup campaign. They've only had one win, against Afghanistan, and they had a rain-affected game against West Indies. So unfortunately, South Africa will have to go back and start rebuilding for the next World Cup already, because it was a terrible World Cup for them. West Indies also started brilliantly in the first game of the tournament by beating Pakistan. They crushed Pakistan in the opening match, but they haven't won since. So there's been sparks of brilliance, but they haven't actually been able to come up with the goods there with the victory. And this is going to be Chris Gale's last World Cup as well. I did hear somewhere that he may play on still after the World Cup. So, Chris Gale has probably been, he's been up and down, but he's an explosive batsman in the competition. So it's really hard to sort of say, Chris Gale, time is up. He's of age now, but he is the universe boss. So, he can keep going. But West Indies are out of this tournament, so really they need to start rebuilding their campaign. But they do have a good team. They have a young team. And I think in a couple of years, they will definitely get, the wins will start coming through. Sri Lanka, like I said earlier, so England's win over India meant that Sri Lanka are effectively out of this tournament. They could technically draw level with England on points, but England have a far superior net run rate at the moment. And it's going to be, England will probably get through, even if Sri Lanka can somehow get on even points. We'll just talk about some of the teams that have qualified, and some of the teams that are more likely to qualify. So Australia have already qualified. They've been playing brilliantly. Australia, it's very hard to defeat Australia, in ICC tournaments. Some of the games, it's been up and down. They've had a bit of a collapse, but they've always had that one batsman who's come through and rebuilt the innings. So that's kudos to Australia. They've played really well, and their bowling attack has been excellent. India really needs to just avoid defeat, I guess, in one of their last two matches to qualify. They've got Sri Lanka and after Bangladesh. So, but even if they lose to Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, they will likely progress because they do have a better run rate, I guess, than Pakistan and Bangladesh at this stage. But really, India, India are a momentum team sometimes, and they need to go into the semis with momentum. So they've got to really win, I guess, against Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. So that'll be their motivation there. So to get a bit of momentum going to the finals. England, well, it's a bit simple for them. They've got to beat New Zealand to make sure their semi-final place is, confirmed. They also qualify, I guess, if Pakistan don't beat Bangladesh and Bangladesh don't beat India. So, but I think their fate is in their own hands. Beat New Zealand and they'll be confirmed a spot. Pakistan, their road, I guess, was made a little bit more difficult with India losing to England. So I guess for them, Pakistan, they have to beat Bangladesh, and they have to hope that England lose to New Zealand. So that's really the only way. If England do win against New Zealand, they could also finish on level points there, but they'll probably be eliminated because they have a really poor run rate, unfortunately, Pakistan. Bangladesh, I guess, they do have a chance still. They've got to beat Pakistan and India and hope that England also lose to New Zealand. So Bangladesh can also actually finish on level points with New Zealand too. But I guess like Pakistan, they are likely to go out on net run rate there. So those are the teams, at the moment. We're likely to see, it's most likely going to be in Australia, India, New Zealand and England top four. But you never know, stranger things have happened in World Cups especially. I'm guessing I have to see what format of the finals it's going to be, 1 versus 4 or 2 versus 3. But yeah, so that's what we've got at the moment. The semi-finals coming up. It's going to be really exciting. It's going to be high, intense pressure games. Hopefully we don't get any more rain. I think it is getting a bit hotter in England now, so we are expecting games to run the full 50 over innings. So it's going to be a great game tonight. Bangladesh are putting everything on the line. They have to win. I guess India do have to also win. So it's going to be a really big clash. I hope you guys enjoy the game. Please leave a comment below if you like the video. Hit the like button down below. Hit the notifications button so you get some notifications every time there's a new video, and subscribe if you already haven't. And also, just to my subscribers, thank you so much for supporting me so far. I've got a lot of videos coming up, a lot of reviews planned. Once this tournament is also over, we'll look at other things that we can do through DE Sports. So yeah, have a good day, enjoy the game tonight, and peace.